All right, ScholarShot Scholar Application deadline is Thursday, February the 15th, and I am here to help Carlos Valadez tell you why you need to hurry up and apply, the do's and don'ts, and some tips he has for you if you would like to be a part of their ScholarShot program. Carlos, I'm going to go ahead and let you introduce yourself.
Awesome. Well, my name is Carlos Valadez. I am your director for Scholar Success in ScholarShot. And so obviously we're really looking forward to this next application cycle. It's been a trial moment because we've actually moved our application to February 15th because of all the FAFSA stuff. But we are really excited to read all of them applications.
I know it's a tedious process for you all. You've told me, and you take it very seriously. And so let's get into the Scholar application, the do's and don'ts that we're going to show here for folks. So first up is the do's, and that is submit your federal student aid estimator. Tell me about that.
Exactly. Yeah. And so this specific year and this specific stage, we have changed things up a little bit because we have previously required students who are FAFSA students to submit their EFC student aid report documentation. But currently, because it's a new FAFSA, they changed that whole entire verbiage to student aid indicator. And because students are not receiving that, currently, it's a little bit of an issue. So we've actually allowed students to upload their federal student aid estimator from studentaid.gov / student aid estimator. I think that's
I'm gonna pop it up right now. So just keep on keeping on.
Perfect. So the whole entire thing is like that. It's a very quick, easy process. You put your information, your contributors' information, and it will pull out your estimated student aid index. And so really that's just an opportunity to help you out to complete your application. Later on within the application process, within the selections process, we will require those FAFSA students to confirm their full student aid index. And so just be very aware about that.
Yeah, but I feel like you guys are being understanding because it's been kind of a pain with the new FAFSA stuff.
Right. And so because we know that this is not the student's fault, and we don't want to negatively impact the student because it really wasn't their fault.
Okay, so I've popped that lower third there, studentaid.gov /aid-estimator. So check that out. I'll leave that up there for a minute if you want to screenshot it or write it down. Okay, so our next due is to start working on the application early. Now, technically, it's due Thursday.
Right.
But, early is in the eye of the beholder.
That is correct. And so for some students, 2 days before might be early. The sooner the better, but this is also a good little tip for even students who are considering to apply next year. Our application opens up October 1st. And so we really have quite a lengthy time that any single student can actually start applying and submit their application. Currently, yes, it is due February 15th, and it's the end of day, February 15th. The moment it hits February 16th, it shuts down. And so we will not be receiving any more applications. But the reason why we really recommend that students start early is because within our application, there are essays involved. And those essays can be a little bit much, but the whole point of why we have that there is because we want to get a full glimpse of who the student is and what are their values and what do they want to do out of their post-secondary journey. Because we know students are far more than just their GPA, transcript, SAT, ACT test scores, and all that jazz. We want the full picture to see who we want to start interviewing and to move on forward within the selections process.
This is where you can show a little bit of that grit that you all speak to about on your website.
Exactly. And so we really want to get, once again, your story. We don't know you from Adam, essentially. We don't know like what schools you might be coming from. I mean, kind of once we read the application, but we don't personally know you. And so we want to get as much of a glimpse that we can get to what is your world and just to see if you're the best fit.
Okay, so the next tip you have here for the do's, upload the appropriate documents. And what would that include?
Yes. And so I would definitely recommend, this is one of the things that one of the first reasons why students end up getting declined. And so just a little tip on these situations is that make sure what you're submitting is the appropriate documentation, because if it's not, if you uploaded by any chance an accidental English assignment on there, technically you did not complete the application. So we cannot review your application and it gets declined. And so you want to make sure you, whatever it is that you're uploading is in the appropriate section. Because even once again, if it's just one document, I I cannot look past that, and unfortunately, you are incomplete. So we will automatically decline that.
Okay. And then the next one up here you have is reach out if you have any questions. And you really
Yes.
mean this.
Yes, totally. I mean, we are here to help our students out, not only our scholars, but any single student who wants and needs it. And so, like, if you have some questions that you might have clarity, and you might need clarity on, like, what does it specifically mean when you're asking this or whatnot? Like, ask us. We want to engage with you, because who better to give you a better, clear answer than the person who is going through the process of taking you through selections. So let me know if you have any questions or any way that I can guide you. This is an important thing overall. And so this is also an opportunity to be able to help and advocate for yourself. I love the word advocate for yourself, because it's so important. You are important. You got to have value in your own thing. And so learn to advocate for yourself. And so feel free to reach out. We want to help you out. And don't just assume that we're expecting something specific. That's not really fun. We are looking for some specific students that will is going to work well with ScholarShot, and who's willing to receive our coaching, and it has that level of grit. And one of the best ways that really shows is if you really do have that high level of grit and you want to receive our coaching, is if you honestly reach out.
And I have put the on the lower third there, scholarshot.smapply.org. So that's where you want to go to fill out that application if you haven't started. And that was one of your things that you said here too. Don't get discouraged, because I do think sometimes you get overwhelmed thinking about all the stuff you have to do. You can start and stop.
Exactly. I mean, our application is a little bit lengthy, but once again, we do that for a reason. And so don't get discouraged in the sense of like, oh, I can't get this done, or maybe I'm not the top tier student or anything like that. This isn't, or I'm never going to be considered. You would be surprised. And so within our organization, we look at students in a holistic approach. We look to see who you are and if you really are the best fit for our program, because not every single student is ultimately the best fit. That doesn't mean anything bad or doesn't mean anything good. It just means that they're just not the best fit, and that's okay. And so don't get discouraged if this is an opportunity you might see like this might not be the best thing for you, or maybe you might have doubts about it, or maybe you're considering even going to out-of-state school, which we only help with in-state institutions. Don't get discouraged. Just make sure that you are approaching this process in a realistic viewpoint and give yourself a shot. You never know. You never know if you'll be eligible to receive our guidance and our funding toward moving forward. It's just very important to that. I know that it can be very difficult to have to deal with a big application all of a sudden, especially when it's like a few days away. But like, and having to deal with all the FAFSA stuff and all of these things that are going on, we totally get it. But it's like, take your time, especially right now, especially if you're starting today. You can, like, as we mentioned, you can easily break it up and make it manageable and give yourself those opportunities to reward yourself on little milestones that you do. But just once again, don't wait until the last minute, please.
Scholar application deadline is due this Thursday, February 15th. There's your less than 10-minute cheat sheet from Carlos Valadez, who has read a number of these applications and will continue to do so. Carlos, any last parting words before we head out today?
Yes, definitely. Last parting words I always say is don't wait until the last minute. These essays are important for us because we want to see who you are and all that stuff. And the thing is, we've been reading essays for many years. We can tell when students do it in the last minute or don't even put their effort into it. So just be aware.
Oh, yes. He is an expert. All right. Once again, scholarshot.smapply or smapply.org and scholarshot.org if you have questions. Carlos, good to see you. Thank you so much. Great information today. Good luck. Happy reading.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll see you next time.
See you next time.